Liberty. My name is Larry Walker, and I'm the Director of Neighborhood Outreach for Liberti River Wards. And I just wanted to connect with all of you and update you on some things going on at the church and let you know that we're still here for you. So a few things. I have some updates, and then I'll bring on Michael Black as well, who's one of our deacon candidates, and also the admin for Easter Outreach this year. First, I wanted to tell you a few things that I think that God is challenging us in as a people. One, I think that this is an opportunity for us while we're locked in our homes to grow in prayer. This is a time of all times we should be on our knees praying to the Lord right now, asking for mercy for our community and for the world. This is a time to lead our children, to lead our families in prayer. It's also an opportunity to practice stillness before the Lord. And in many ways, the busyness of life has slowed down dramatically against our wills even. And it's an opportunity for us to learn how to be still before the Lord, which is a real challenge in this era. Contentment with what we have. We cannot continue to go out and buy things or go to restaurants. We're sort of locked in at home. And it's an opportunity for us to grow in contentment. One of the bigger things that we can grow in is empathy. I spent a lot of time thinking lately about the reality that there are people in our city, in this beautiful city that's also really poor and broken, who have experienced social distancing and hunger and food shortages and housing shortages for decades. And in some ways, we all are just getting a tiny, tiny little taste of what it feels like to be them. And I pray that God turns that into love in our hearts and empathy for those who are struggling. So I wanted to give you a path. A lot of you have reached out to me and asked either for assistance yourselves, which is great, or how do you help others? You've asked, can you help others? And so I'm one guy, and we're a people though, and so we can accomplish a lot more than just what I could accomplish by myself. So I wanted to give you a plan of what to do. So our church has a thing called a care team, which is normally where people would come for immediate felt needs. But the needs are growing so much around us that the church can't handle all of it. So here's the path. If you have a need, or if you know someone who has a need, first, if you have a need, reach out to a home meeting leader if you can. In the description below will be all of my information, who to reach out to of the church if you need to contact a home meeting, and if you're not part of one. This is a great pitch right now to join a home meeting. Even if we're not meeting together, it's still a way to join a community of people. So join something. If you need a need, reach out to a home meeting leader. If you know someone who has a need and you can address it, then do it. If you have excess, if you are young and healthy, and you know someone who's locked in their house and can't get out, then try to help them. In these times, just assume that God providentially placed you there and that person there at the same time, and you can help them. If the need is too much, something that you can't handle, or you're someone who's at risk and you shouldn't be going out and helping them, contact a home meeting leader. And these home meetings are filled with people and can accomplish a great deal if they work together. And so if the need is too big for you, can you tackle it as a home meeting? So home meetings are essentially functioning as the first level of care team now at our church. And so if you can handle it as a home meeting, then do it, okay? And record these stories. We'd love to hear what God's doing. The last step would be if it's too much for the home meeting, and that may happen at some point. Home meeting leaders, you need to reach out to Stephen Wood or me. I believe it's probably Stephen Wood first though. So reach out to him if it's become too much, and then we'll get the deacons involved. So it is beautiful, God's providence in creating these offices and of the diaconate especially. If you think about it, in Acts 6, the diaconate was created to address a food need, people who were on the margins who needed food. And this is a time for the deacons to shine, and I think they're ready to lead. And so pray for your leaders right now and look to them. I want to just say that social distancing is one thing, but isolation is another. So if you feel alone and afraid, or you find yourself without, don't sit there and be afraid of judgment or whatever to reach out. Reach out to us. We're all a community. Our lives are changing because of this. And so there will be no judgment, so reach out if you need help, okay? The Lord's with us. He's with our church, and we're mobilizing right now, okay? I wanted to bring up Michael Black, who is one of our deacon candidates, and he's also the admin for Easter Outreach. And he's going to tell you what's going on with Easter Outreach this year. And again, in God's perfect plan, Easter Outreach is one of the few things that's not slowing down right now, but ramping up, because the mission to feed hungry people who are in need doesn't need to change. In fact, it's become more evident than ever. And so he's going to explain to you some of the details. We got to be flexible in these times. I mean, as this thing is happening, just think 1 month ago, none of us was really paying attention to this, and now we're locked in our houses mostly. So as this changes and adapts, you need to learn how to be flexible as well. And so we all are. And so if what we say right now changes a little bit, try not to get frustrated, just roll with it. And so Michael's going to come up and tell you ways that we can jump in with our time, even if we can't leave our homes. There are things that we could do to help organize meals. So, Michael?
Hi, Liberti River Wards. Most of you are aware about Easter Outreach and the desire to serve those who are less fortunate. This year, because of COVID-19, we are changing it up pretty drastically. Instead of the majority of the activity happening on the week prior to Easter, we're actually seeking to become a food delivery service for Fill Abundance and many neighborhood food pantries that have experienced a significant drop in volunteerism. If you desire to volunteer, please reach out to Larry and the diaconate, and we will train you in our new protocols, but we are looking to have ongoing volunteer opportunities delivering food directly to those who are most at risk, starting as soon as possible, as early as this Saturday. And as always, if you have any time at all, please let us know. Even if you're stuck in your house yourself and can't get out, there are different ways to help out, from answering a phone call to helping me out with administrative duties. Who knows what the Lord could call us to in service in this way. And also, we aren't just looking for 10,000 meals, we're looking to feed as many people as possible in this time. So if you have any funds that you can donate, please do. There is a lot of people that need food, and we want to make sure that we are the hands and feet to those who don't have a voice and don't have the ability to get that food themselves. Thank you.